I'm Dr. Binu. In Digital Signal Processing subject, the fifth topic in the second unit is realization of IIR filter. The IIR filter can be realized by means of four common methods: direct form 1, direct form 2, cascade form, and parallel form. The block diagram representation for the various elements for the realization of the filters are: the adder can be represented by means of using the plus symbol. A constant multiplier is used by means of with the triangular box. Unit delay element is represented by means of z to the power of -1. In direct form 1 realization, by taking Z transform on both sides, then the realization will be looking in this manner. That is, from the equation, after taking the Z transform, the delay elements are represented by Z to the power -1. The constant terms are represented by rectangle, that is triangular form. The addition element is, the summing elements are represented by means of plus. Disadvantages of direct form 1. This structure uses separate delays for input and output samples, so it consumes more memory. The choice of realization of the system is influenced by different factors like it reduces computation complexity, memory requirement is more, finite word length effect in computations, parallel processing or pipelining should be chosen. The problem: construct the block diagram of a system whose input-output relations are described by difference equation. Y of n is equal to 0.5 x of n plus 0.5 x of n minus 1. First we have to take the Z transform on both sides, then the equation becomes in this manner. Then by using the required elements, we have to represent the equation in a block diagram. That is the realization of the filter. The next problem is construct the block diagram of a system whose input-output relations are described by the difference equation. By taking Z transform, all the y of n values are replaced by z values. N minus 1 values are replaced by y of z into z to the power -1. Then we have to draw the block diagram for the given equation. Direct form 2 realization. This is the general structure of direct form 2 realization. The design steps are like a direct form 1. Here also we have to take the Z transform. Then we have to calculate y of transfer function y of z by x of z. Then we can expand y of z by x of z by introducing one weight element y of z by w of z into w of z by x of z. We can consider y of z by w of z as a numerator value, w of z by x of z as a denominator value. And the problem is, construct the block diagram of a system whose input-output relations are described by the difference equation. First step, taking Z transform on both sides. Cascade form. The general function is h of z is equal to h1 of z into h2 of z into hk of z. The general representation of cascade form is, it is the series of h1 of z as well as h2 of z. Problem using cascade form. Here taking z transform on both sides. The roots of the denominator are 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. We have to calculate the transfer function for h1 of z and h2 of z. Then we have to concatenate, that is cascade, both the transfer functions. Then we will get the cascade form. Parallel form. In parallel form, And the transfer function of the system can be expressed as the sum of first and second order sections. The parallel form structure is represented in this manner. That is x of z and y of z is represented in the parallel method. The problem in parallel realization, taking z transform on both sides, calculate various h of z values. After finding different h of z values, that is h1 of z and h2 of z, we have to represent the transfer function in a parallel manner. Thank you.